would never, ever hurt this child. And I know there's some...
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody.
You believe you know who has her. What do you have to say to them? To just bring her back. I just want her back. That's all I want.
Alright guys, welcome back. Hope you're doing good. Well, that was a hell of an introduction video, wasn't it? That introduction video, them clips, very powerful, ain't it? Very powerful. Makes you think, don't it? Makes you just stop for a second and think. So anyway, I told you guys I was going to analyze the Nancy Grace video where she interviewed Chris and Katie Proudfoot. So, and they're Sebastian, Katie is Sebastian Rogers' biological mom. Chris Proudfoot is Sebastian Rogers' stepdad. Okay. And there's two main things that I picked out in this interview. There could be a lot more, but for right now, these are the two main things in that interview that Nancy Grace done with Chris and Katie. And I know people's covered this, other YouTubers have covered this, but I want to give my perspective and my opinion, because I think you'll go, I never thought of that. Don B, I never thought about that. So, the first one that I want to get into is where Chris says that he can't talk about specific dates because law enforcement has told him not to. And let me play that clip for you real quick.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates.
All right, so there's that clip where Chris says, I cannot speak on any specific dates because law enforcement has told me not to. That statement right there, in my opinion, directly connects Chris Proudfoot with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers on an investigative standpoint. Did you ever stop and think about that? Is one of those things where I told you you'd be like, well, Don B, I never thought about that. Nobody's ever mentioned that. That statement right there directly connects Mr. Proudfoot with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And I'm saying this only on an investigative standpoint, because if there was nothing there, it wouldn't be a big deal. If there was nothing there, if there was nothing to hide, he could freely talk about those dates if there was nothing to hide. So, again, that statement directly connects Chris Proudfoot, in my opinion, to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And that, folks, is what we need to be digging into, along with the lights, other stuff that we've ran across, that all the other YouTubers are looking into, this and that. This, in my opinion, the statement by Chris Proudfoot, that statement is a huge, huge hint in what in who in what investigators are looking at. Huge hint. I mean, if someone was to say, is there any hints at who investigators might be looking at? Because they've not really said, they've not cleared anybody, that, you know, this, that. There you go. Chris put his foot in his own mouth with that statement right there. The other one that I want to give my thoughts and opinions on is when Nancy Grace pressed Chris and Katie about leaving and going to Memphis. We all know that they left and went to Memphis, right? Let me play that video clip for you.
We were given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Proudfoot?
No, I'm not going back to work. Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
I think, well, there's that video clip, guys. I think, in my opinion, when Nancy Grace was asking Chris and Katie about leaving, I think looking physically at Chris and Katie, how they reacted, they were nervous. They didn't like talking about it. And so they made up, you know, they couldn't really say truthfully why they left the home, because it would look bad on them. It would really look bad on them if they said truthfully why they, in my opinion, why they left the home. Now, instead of saying, oh, it was because of work-related issues, and Katie saying she went out there to support Chris going back to work, yada, 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 I think that what really should have been said, is, well, in my opinion, I think they left the home because people in the neighborhood seen and heard things which is very uncomfortable for Chris and Katie. We've heard that people seen stuff over there. You know, people's come out and said they've heard Chris calling Sebastian, I think, the R word out in the yard or something like that. But I think they left. They ultimately left the home because people in that neighborhood seen and heard things which will more than likely play a role in how this all pans out. There's going to be a lot of stuff that plays a role after this is said and done, in my opinion. But, you know, there's a lot of people that talk to investigators that told them, you know, we heard Chris say this to Sebastian. We seen him do this. And it puts Chris and Katie in a very uncomfortable position to be in that neighborhood with people that may one day be testifying against you. You know. So, and I said maybe. So anyway, guys, and I've got I've got a screen pulled up back here with Jennifer Coffendorfer doing an interview with Court TV. And at the bottom of the screen it says, police say this is not a Sebastian Rogers case, is not a cold case. And I want to hit on that. I do not believe that Sebastian Rogers case is cold. Okay. I believe the police on that. I believe the police are being truthful on that. It's not cold. But it's not prosecutable either. Right. It's kind of in limbo. It's not cold, but it's not prosecutable. That's probably another one of those. I never thought about that, Don. Because that's just, and it all just boils down to evidence. That's all it boils down to. Because you can't go into trial with, you know, he said this, she said that. You want to have concrete evidence, or as much concrete evidence as you can gather, especially when and if there's no body, right? So that, you know, that's what I wanted to say about that. I got to watching that, and I noticed the banner on the bottom said, you know, police says, you know, the case is not cold. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, yeah, I'd say it's not cold, but at the same time, it's not prosecutable either. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like in limbo, still building that case to make an arrest or several arrests, and then, you know, have a trial. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, share it. Appreciate all the support, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.